Yo, welcome back. So today I just want to explain two things. It's currently Sunday night, and the first thing that I want to explain was an offer that was verbally accepted that I had this week, and I will run down all the numbers and how it all went. So it first started with a cold call, and this was prior to when I made the rule of not trying to make an offer in the first call. However, this guy really wanted an offer in the first call, so I looked on Audacity. I didn't do much underwriting or comping, and it said 70,000. So I just said 70,000 and he accepted it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I might have either over offered or he's in a position where he really wants to sell and that number really makes sense to him for some reason. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I know you want to sell now. Maybe this offer was made a little too hastily. So let me go back and let me do some proper underwriting and research, and I will give you a call back tomorrow. So I brought this to the disposition team and they said 70K is too much. Try to get it around the 55,000 mark to 60,000 mark. So I went back to the seller, I gave him a call, and I was able to make a renegotiation and explain to him why I had to lower this 70,000 and that we were now at 58,500. And then he was like, no, I can't do that, and that's because I had an offer of 60,000 from a local investor a couple months ago, and I didn't take it. So I was like, that makes sense. Let me go back to the team and see what we can do. So I went back to the team, I explained to them the situation, and then they came back and said, hey, the max offer that we can do is $62,000, but only if there is $20,000 in repairs to get it in tip-top shape. So I went back to the seller, I explained the situation, and I let them know, hey, this offer that we made is contingent to that it'll only cost $20,000 to repair and rehab your house to get it in really good condition so that we can sell it for the highest value on today's current market, which is around $140,000. And he says, yes, I will take this offer. And yes, it's probably going to be under $20,000. So, boom, it prolonged to like a 52-minute conversation where I built rapport and I understood more about the seller situation. And now we're moving into the next steps of trying to collect photos. And the difficult part is this seller does not use any technology, which is really good on him. He is very old, and I was like, dude, just keep it simple and continue not using technology and, pen and paper, landline, that'll do the job. And so we're trying to get photos now, and he's trying to get his daughter to get photos, and then after that, I have to sign the agreement. And this old fellow likes to do things the old school way and does things in person, which I totally understand. So I'm like, I can't do it in person. I can't do it in person because I'm out of state. So what I'm gonna do, seller, is try to find a local attorney. I'll explain the entire agreement to them, and then you can go to their office or whatever and sign the documents. And he's like, that's totally cool. So yeah, there's some bottlenecks right now that I have to figure out, but right now we're just patiently waiting for the photos and hopefully this can move along. Now, the numbers now, so I verbally had a yes at 62,000 and essentially it'll cost $20,000 in repairs and the ARV is 140,000. So if you do some calculations with the formula that I have, that means the max allowable offer is around $86,000. So the spread is about 25K. So that's the potential on this deal here, but we'll see, and we'll only know how it goes as time tells. Maybe it completely flops, who knows? But yeah, it was nice to learn the whole process of getting a verbal yes and building all that report, and finally getting an offer accepted from my disposition partner. Now, the second thing that I want to explain is the new KPI sheet that I created over the weekend with Claude, and this here also shows much more data nowadays now, and it might need some reworking in the future, but so far it's pretty good. So just looking at the stats for this week, I did take a day off, which was on Tuesday, um, and it was because I had meetings and stuff like that. I was like talking to mentors, and I also had a meeting for getting my LLC set up. So I took Tuesday off, and this week was pretty slow. Yeah, I didn't produce much, especially on the last 2 days here, Friday and Saturday. And these 2 days were quite draining, mentally draining. The sheets that I'm working off of now, it feels as if they are now a little overworked, and I'm getting a lot of bad connects, but that's just the whole process. So this week I did a total of only 20,000 connects. which isn't too bad because the other weeks are also around the 20,000 mark. So it's not too bad. Um, and now I've added a new pipeline stage, which is the deals, and I have offers, contract sent, contract signed, close, and assignment fee. These are the only five things I'm going to be tracking in the deal pipeline, and I might add more in the future. It's just I don't have enough data yet to figure out what I need to track. But for now, this works. So how many offers have I been making, and then how many offers turns into a contract, so how many contracts I send, and then how many contracts I send turn to contract signed, and then how many contracts signed turn to close, and then close is how many assignment fees. And then after all of this information is inputted, I have lots of data to show me much more concise information. So if I had to just explain with the data that I have right now, which is just cold calls and offers right now, we can just continue going along and see that, okay, it takes about 4,000 calls to make one offer, and it takes about 122 total connects to make one offer. It takes about 52 good opportunities. So somebody that says they're not interested, but this is the right property, it takes about 52 of those to get one offer. And it takes about a total of 7 opportunities to get one offer. So I have good opportunities and bad opportunities. So it takes about 7 of those. But on the good opportunities side, it takes about 1.5 good opportunities per one offer. And this will continually, hopefully, be near the one mark. So every opportunity that I generate should realistically come down to an offer. So it'll essentially be the first call, qualifying, and then letting them know, hey, I'm going to go back and do some proper underwriting, and I'll get back to you with a complete offer. So it should be 1 to 1 in the future, hopefully, or at least closer to one. And then, yeah, how much talk time it takes to one offer. So about 70 minutes of talk time equates to one offer, and it'll get much more um, in depth once I punch in more data and information. And then from there, I have the quarterly results. So in Q1, this is the results for Q1, and it'll all be automatically populated. And then I have it in Q2, Q3, and then I also have annual data, which will all be here. And yeah, this was built all in Claude, and I built it. I locked in for like 3 hours. I just went to a coffee shop, and it was awesome, like how it built this thing. And I know it can be way more advanced, and I'm an idiot, so like building something like this is absolutely crazy. So yeah, AI is changing and it's moving hella fast. I know my friends in the trading space, they're building out like coded websites now for their trackers, and it's so cool how they do it. So eventually, I want to get to that point one day, but for now, this is totally enough, and I'm really happy with how this is turning out. And then eventually, once I move into paid ads and paid marketing, I'll just change this segment up, and I'll keep all of this, and it'll just give me some more information on that, and I'll just continue building things like that. So I know that when I do have people under my business and I have teammates, I'm gonna have to probably swap to Google Excel sheet or just somehow have them fill out a form, and then at the end of the day, somebody just fills it out in an Excel sheet. I just prefer using Excel rather than Google Sheets, and I don't know why. But yeah, that's kind of it right now. So we'll see how it goes for the next week. This is the last week of April, I believe. So yeah, I just want to really execute. I really want to start generating better lists. And so right now, I did join. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I did join a new mentorship. Her name is Vena, and she specializes in cold calling. So that's why I joined her community. And I'm just going to try to figure out the best way to build lists through her methods. But I think it's a lot more costly, and I'm also going to try to tweak my cold calling SOPs and just figuring out what to do at what stage. And yeah, that'll be all done in this week. I might just take a day off just to learn one day, but I don't, yeah, I don't know, I'm not going to do that. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, that's what I have going on right now. Thank you very much for watching. If you did watch, hope you have a great day. Good fortune. Peace.